Good afternoon, good morning,
and good night.
Whichever you're experiencing. Taylor's way early today. Way to be the overachiever.
I've got a different camera here, so it's like I realize like if I lean on, I'm way in people's faces here. If I lean in a little bit, so now I gotta readjust myself here.
It's a little bit alarming. You don't need Mike this close.
You know those guys at the shows that are like, hey,
yes.
Let me tell you something.
The close talker that comes back to chat at the table.
Yeah.
It's a good time. All right.
It's been a week off. I forgot how to do all this.
Yeah, you have to relearn everything.
1 week off, and here we are.
The one thing he remembers is Jeremy wins.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else will have to be relearned.
Still there. Got it.
That's like riding a bike right there. He's got that.
Got crack the neck here. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Get loose.
Pre-podcast routines here. This is the good quality stuff here that people don't often get to see if they're late.
It's like the warm-ups in the green room. Mike's stretching. Jeremy's waking up from his nap on a couch in the green room.
It's a good couch.
Ready to walk on the stage. It doesn't really matter if it's a good couch or a bad couch. You could nap either way.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
But doesn't that make it a good couch?
Really, just saying there's no bad couches, I guess.
There's Tim. Apparently, I misspoke. I thought Tim was in Texas. Apparently, he's in Colorado now.
Oh, wow. You should be better friends to know. You'd know that if you kept up more.
You're right. I'm a poor friend. Well, in
Jason
multiple
Earls.
ways.
Look at Jason Earls there.
Hey!
Remember back in the day when we used to do shows and sometimes Jason Earls was there?
Jason would be there and we would interact with him in person.
Yeah, that was a good time whenever that was.
I remember those days.
Good old days. Are we ready to go? Should we record a podcast?
Yeah.
Right. I did finger guns, but they're out of the camera. Oh, well, they're there.
Gotta get in here, Mike.
All right. Here we go. Oh, there's that. Okay. Here we go in 3, 2, 1.
Greetings, everyone. We are 321 Improv Comedy. Welcome to our podcast. We are live on Facebook and YouTube like we always are at noon on Tuesdays. Hello, everybody. It is July 28th. We're almost to August. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty
A couple days ago, it was March, and everybody said, okay, we got to stop traveling and doing that thing. But, give it a month or two. It'll be fine. Hello, August.
Here we are.
Whew, it's crazy.
No end in sight.
But we're here hanging out with our friends. Taylor was early today. My friend Tim from Colorado is in the room. Jason Earls is here with us. We love Jason Earls. It's a good time. That's Jeremy over there in Oklahoma running the controls.
That's right. Here's my name.
That's Mike down there. He's down there in the picture, but he's up there in New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Good to see you, Mike.
Hello,
Mike, put him up. We can move him.
There.
Mike's still checking out his surroundings.
Now he's over there.
I'm Carl down here in Florida. I was on vacation last week. Did a little hiking up in the mountains of North Carolina. That was a good time.
Wow.
People accuse us of talking about food all the time, so let me tell you about where I ate. Mike,
I was going to ask if you didn't bring it up. I was going to say, what'd you find to eat?
Mike, I went to a place called 12 Bones.
Oh, wow.
A good barbecue place. I
Is
don't
it
think
like
Jeremy
4 times as good as 3 Rivers?
Don't say that. Don't say that. I get
that guy goes to your church, doesn't he?
Yeah, I got a connection at 3 Rivers. I don't want to ruin that.
All right. Okay.
So 12 Bones, they had a chipotle blueberry rib sauce.
That.
It was, oh man, it was incredible. And corn pudding, and Mike would have liked the smoked potato salad.
Oh,
I would have.
Yeah.
You put it in a pipe and
yes,
that's how you ingest the potato salad.
The potato salad.
I can't help myself anymore. I was at a barbecue place. I actually looked at the menu to make sure that there was pulled pork so that Jeremy would have something to order. And then I realized, wait, Jeremy's not here. I'm with my family.
Always got to.
Are you saying I'm not family?
Make sure Jeremy is taken care of.
Come on.
And then I took my family to Zoe's because the three of us had been to Zoe's together, but my family hadn't been to Zoe's. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got to experience Zoe's.
They got some fresh food over there at Zoe's.
It's good stuff. What is it? Born in the Mediterranean, raised in the South.
I think so. I think
that's the slogan on the wall. So, and of course, Zoe's. I got my limeade. I'm always up for a good limeade.
I mean, that's the only reason. Well, that's like the primary
that's the only reason
to go. It's the only reason. I'm burning bridges with all the food franchises around here. What's up with Mike?
Mike's spouting off at all the restaurant owners.
He likes us, but he says the worst things about us. Oh well, losing my sponsorships.
Have you guys ever been to the Cove, the Billy Graham Training Center outside of Asheville, North Carolina?
I have not.
It's pretty spectacular. In the mountains, they do pastoral retreats. They do marriage retreats. There's this really cool chapel. I would encourage anybody to go check out the Cove. There's like a Billy Graham museum in the lower level of the chapel where you can see pictures of all the evangelical crusades that he used to do. There's one picture of Billy Graham speaking in South Korea, and there are 1 million people at the event.
Wow.
I don't think we're allowed to do that anymore.
I mean, normally 3-2-1 would, but we're going to decide for the people's safety to not have 1 million people at our shows.
Right. So just so everybody knows, when we're able to go back on the road and do a show again, there will not be 1 million people there, but only because of social distancing.
Right. Yeah. Times have changed.
We're going to have to limit ourselves.
Yeah. I got to pull back for the public health.
Yes.
We're here to help. I looked it up. I performed one time at the Cove. It was back in 2003. So it's been a little while. Jeremy, just disregard these comments. We know that you consider nothing to have happened with 3-2-1 prior to your joining the group.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
That's what I thought.
Well, he got his driver's license in 2003.
All right, let's talk about where we were supposed to be today. Normally we're out traveling, we're going places. Game. We're doing shows. Well, we were supposed to be somewhere today. Do you know where we were supposed to be?
What day is it? Tuesday. Is it another Fuego?
Tuesday? Nope. No, Fuego would have been done by now.
Oh, is it
Estes Park?
Yes.
Estes Park, Colorado. Park. That's correct.
That's a great event.
Every third summer, our friends from the Synod of the Heartland, Bob Cleveringa and the gang, get together up at Estes Park at the YMCA of the Rockies. Bring a couple thousand of their closest friends from like Iowa and Minnesota. Everybody joins up there at Estes Park, and we go up and hang out with the good people. What are your memories of spending time multiple times up at Estes Park?
Mike's got a smile on his face. I got a lot of stories. Yeah, I'll start with it. Okay, so I've been there maybe three times. Probably. Yeah. And so every time I've kind of made it my own personal tradition to like take off into the mountains and just go like on a hike when we have a bunch of time off. Just me. I go out there. And the last time I was out there, I remember I was like, I'm going to be like Bear Grylls. I'm going to be like, I'm going to build this like lean-to thing. I'm just going to camp out right here for like, I don't know, an hour, like Bear Grylls does. Until I get hungry, then I go back to the catering tent.
Right.
But other than that,
yeah.
And then I realized I had made my little tent kind of like on a trail, like right next to it, where I thought like, oh, this is good access. And then I realized there's like bear dung and bear like prints in the mud. And I'm like, this is not like a hiking trail. This is like a bear trail. And judging by the poo, it's been used recently. So I decided to pack up my camping trip pretty early. I also remember one of my favorite groups we hung out there with was Rend Collective.
Oh yeah,
and I don't even remember the context, but their best advice that they ever gave was they're from Ireland, right? You can't dress like you're going to church if you want to sell the merch. And so now I've been keeping my V-necks a little bit lower.
Yeah,
sell the merch a little bit.
Nice.
Didn't we also do the inflatable like?
Yeah,
we had a competition.
Yeah. You climb in a giant ball.
On the backside of that one auditorium, there's an old roller skating rink. and we were over there, and they had those giant inflatable things that you climb inside, right?
Yeah,
and you guys ran into each other a couple.
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
that was good times.
I remember I got to fire a T-shirt cannon, except they stuffed it with candy.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to be careful not to shoot it straight at people.
Yeah, so I got to fire it up in the air.
We also rode a mechanical bull, and don't we have like video of that somewhere?
Yeah,
yes, we do.
I think so.
We have that in the archives, and so I will not say who won.
One time we left Estes Park and we continued on to another location for more shows, and Jeremy realized he left his wallet in the dresser of our cabin at the top of the mountain. So we had to call our friend Walt, who had to go recover the wallet and like mailed it to our next stop or something.
Yeah, because we were going to Canada, right?
We were going to Canada, but you fortunately had your passport also, right? So you could go to Canada, and then we went back to Louisiana.
Where my wallet was waiting for me.
Leaving the country. Yep. Speaking of Louisiana, there's our friend Matt Mars there with us.
Matt.
Matt.
One of our videographer friends.
What's the organization?
Oh,
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, Mothers of Preschoolers. Yeah,
there we go.
Mm-hmm. When he told us that news, I was like, they didn't want to hire a woman for that job, Matt?
Nah, Matt's the best.
Stay behind the camera.
He's great. And then we had all kinds of plans for videos we wanted to shoot with Matt, and then all of a sudden he wasn't there.
Speaking of Fuego, did you hear the sad news today?
What happened?
Or yesterday? Alicia is leaving. She has accepted position at a new job, and she is not going to be the associate director of Fuego anymore.
So now we're going to have to find somebody else to pick on.
Right. What are we going to do?
And Whittles isn't there.
Yeah.
Whittles doesn't even talk to us anymore. Alicia, by about week 3, there's 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks of Fuego or something. And each week, Alicia's voice gets worse. So by the end of the week, she's like, she sounds like your grandfather after he smoked for about 40 years.
That's true.
Yeah. And now, what are we going to do with all those jokes?
Let's be honest. There's a lot of people still left to pick on. I think we'll be okay.
The other memory I had, the low-hanging fruit is gone.
The other memory from Estes Park was so this one went multiple events. We were at an event in some other state with our friend DJ Promote, and we walked over to his stage area after our show to check in with him. And what did he say as we walked up?
So hey guys, thanks so much for coming by or dropping by and saying what's up. Is what he said to us as we
Mike walked away with this look on his face like he was just distraught. Do you remember what you said when we walked away?
It's like, man, I'm never going to be cool enough to say that. I'm like, even recounting it now, it didn't feel right.
Mike's like, I can't even use the phrase, thanks for stopping over to say what's up. So then we get to Estes Park and we find out, ooh, DJ Promote's going to be here. Mike, you get your chance. I think, did you try to say it to him?
Yeah, thanks for dropping what's up for dropping by.
Mike's trying to be cool around the cool DJ, and Carlos is nice, so he was kind to you, but that was the greatest interaction. At one point, I remember us at our merch table, and we're like in a cabin area, and there was a window, and we had the window open, and you were still talking to him as he's walking across the lawn.
That's right. Hey, thanks for stopping by and saying,
there's a disc golf course up there at Estes Park, but it gets a little hairy in a couple spots where you're like throwing off the top of a cliff on the side of a mountain.
Yep.
So it's a bit of a challenge. And the actual bears. We saw bears on my vacation in North Carolina. They were walking across the Blue Ridge Parkway. It was pretty sweet.
All right.
So I told him to go check out your campsite.
Appreciate that.
I knew you'd want them to visit.
Good.
And then didn't we have somebody in a bear costume or what? Somebody showed up in an animal costume at one of our shows at Estes Park one time.
In the middle of our show, right?
Right. Yeah. In the middle of the show, and somebody comes through in like a mascot costume.
That was the show. We were like eating smoothies and pizza from the audience. That was a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of Estes memories.
There's a great room there. It feels like a lecture hall at college. The stage is kind of on the floor, and then the seats go up from there. So as people come in the room, they're basically walking right by the stage. So if they had smoothies or pizza, we would get snacks from people.
Sometimes we would abuse our power, and we would ask them for a sip of their smoothie, and they couldn't refuse.
Sometimes because they offered it, sometimes because we took it. That feels really strange now in the age of COVID, right? Like we took a sip of somebody's smoothie.
Oh man, we're never going to be able to do that again. Oh well. I remember at Estes there was a time that we went to a late night laser tag. They had like an inflatable arena there, and we were like, let's go do some laser tag and pwn some noobs, and we got wrecked.
They were like shooting through the walls somehow.
We're like, what's up? Yeah, and the person who was running it was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I think sometimes like the shots go through the walls. We're like, what? Then what are we doing in this thing? Let's just play on a field. What is this?
Look how quickly it comes back for Mike. He gets all worked up. This was years ago.
I think it's probably 8 years ago.
It was a humiliating defeat.
Fresh wound.
So right before the world shut down in March, we were on tour up in New York with the fine people at Family Life Radio up there. We wandered around the state of New York for about 4 or 5 days, and I have big news for you. That tour has been scheduled again for March of 2021.
Excellent.
Oh, excellent.
Excited to go back
there. There was some cool places up there.
Yeah, we should look back at our week in upstate New York. I remember one of the first things we were looking for was New York-style pizza.
Yes,
we just wanted the big giant slice of pizza that you can fold in half,
really floppy, kind of grease drips off of it a little bit. Yep.
Well, so we started off the first night. We were in Batavia, New York, and we went to a pizzeria after the show, all excited. All they wanted to sell us was Chicago-style deep dish pizza. And we're like, we're in New York.
No thanks. Yeah, we passed.
Was that did we go to the place that they were like, oh, that's in the bad neighborhood or something?
Yes,
we're like, it doesn't look like the bad neighborhood.
Yes, the people at the event cautioned us because we were going to go over there.
Don't go there.
Like,
and then I remember I ordered 2 slices, and they gave me 2 huge slices, and the girl behind the counter goes, I'm going to give you a third one because that one looks really small. I'm like, this one? It's huge.
That was the good place. That was like in Binghamton or somewhere, I think.
Oh yes,
where we actually found our New York style. Yeah, and it was perfect. Buy by the slice, and that was a slice bigger than a normal slice of pizza, but she felt bad.
Yeah,
so she gave you an extra slice.
I was like, all right.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn it down. Yeah, that was. Oh yeah, so Batavia. We went to Binghamton. We went to Clarion, Pennsylvania. One night, and then I remember Olean, New York, the last night. Do you remember what was in the lobby of the church?
Was that the place with the fish tank?
Was that the old Masonic temple or Shriner's temple?
It was one of those.
Was that it?
I'm not sure. I was thinking of the Wall of Donuts.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah. That was not the Shriner's temple.
That was earlier in that might have been Binghamton.
We're still talking food. That
was the place. Yeah, that was the place with the aquarium that I was talking about.
Because it was left over there from when they redid the building or something. How do you describe that wall of donuts?
Well, not COVID approved anymore.
Right, you can't do that anymore either. Nope. There's a picture of you guys looking like you're going to eat the donuts right off the wall.
Yep, they were all in like pegs, right? There's like 50 pegs on the wall, and each peg has like 4 or 5 donuts on it.
I think that's on our Instagram.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think the picture's there. So you just walk up and take one of the donuts right off a peg. It's craziness.
Nan and George were there. Look at that.
All right. Yeah, yay for Family Life Radio.
Excellent.
Let's see what else I have on our list for today. So this date in history. We've got some good ones here. This often requires some quizzing on your parts.
Sure.
To figure things out. So let's start with an easy one. The city of Miami, about 40 miles from where I'm currently sitting, Miami, Florida, was incorporated on this date in history. What year was the city of Miami, Florida incorporated?
Like they became a business?
Yes.
They became Miami Incorporated?
Right. Exactly.
Is that
Miami Inc. I think that's a different show.
Oh,
is that like a prior to the Pilgrims? Like, is that the Spanish settlement era where it's
that's up north, like St. Augustine.
That's St. Augustine. Okay, that's really old. So it's not that old.
Way back. No, it's not that old.
I'll say 1790.
Jeremy,
1801.
You guys are a little early. Not till 1896.
Oh, really?
Was Miami Incorporated, yeah. Yeah, and a lot has
Back
changed
when
since then.
Will Smith was just beginning to start rhyming about it.
Now, I need your help on this one. You guys paid a lot more attention in school than I did. I read this one. So, Siward, the Earl of Northumbria, on this date invaded Scotland and defeated Macbeth. Is that the same as the Shakespearean Macbeth, or is that a different Macbeth?
Same.
He was the same person? Macbeth is real? I just thought it was a character in a play.
Well,
what play?
It's called Macbeth, right?
You can't say it, Carl. Now this podcast is cursed.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, sorry.
I think it was based on real. I think it was based on real people, but obviously the ghost of his father wasn't real. Or
also was part of in actuality.
It says he was the king of Scotland, somewhere north of the Firth of Forth.
Yes, the Firth of Forth.
I don't know what any of that means. So what? So what year was that Earl of Northumbria invaded Scotland and defeated Macbeth, king of Scotland?
1326.
1463.
1054.
We were so in the future.
We were really close.
All of those numbers started with a 1. You were so close.
Wow.
On this date, the first permanent transatlantic telegraph cable was successfully completed, stretching from Ireland to Newfoundland. It's hard to believe there was an actual cable strung at the bottom of the ocean from Ireland to Newfoundland. What year did this permanent transatlantic telegraph cable get successfully completed?
I feel like the telegraph was a pretty small window of time where that was used.
Yeah. 1905.
Jeremy's giving it some serious thought.
That's a good. I'm gonna go with 1896.
1866.
Really?
How does that even work? How do you put a cable on the bottom of the ocean in 1866 from Ireland to Newfoundland?
Who says it was at the bottom of the ocean?
Do you think it's floating?
Some guy's just traveling and he's just unspooling it as he's going.
When other boats come through, there's a guy there to just lift the cable up so you can go underneath.
Yeah.
That's a good picture. This one was weird for me to read it. On this date in 1996 in Atlanta, I shouldn't be laughing. A pipe bomb exploded at Centennial Olympic Park at the Olympics. So this was the Olympics.
Carl's sense of humor is very dark.
Well, that's because I was in a car on the way to the Olympics. This is always such a weird memory for me.
Suspicious.
We were no, I wasn't there yet.
Oh, okay.
Greg
so
may
you
have
had
been.
An alibi.
We had my friend Greg, who's sometimes our road manager. He was on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. Greg was meeting me and another friend there. So we're driving through the night to get to the Olympics.
And he said, if anybody asks, I was with you all night.
And we hear the news that a bomb has gone off at the Olympics, and we just look at each other like, that's where we're going. Like, do we keep going now, or do we turn around? So we went to the Olympics. We were there for...
Oh, so you did keep going.
Yeah.
You're like, bomb? That's probably fine.
We were there the first week the park reopened. The first night the park reopened, after they got everything cleared up and investigated. They reopened the park, but there were scares going on all over the place. We'd be walking from one Olympic venue to another, and you'd see like a fire truck go flying by because there'd be another bomb scare somewhere. It's like, what are we doing? But then the park opened back up. Centennial Park was like the big hangout space in the middle of all the venues, and we saw Santana play a concert there at the park, and everything was back open and ready to go.
Well, there you go.
But it's always such a weird memory to think there was a bomb going off at the Olympics and we were driving right into the storm.
We will go right to it.
Yeah, why should we stop? So my wife just walked through the room and said, everybody that knows you does not question this behavior.
No one should be surprised.
Wow. All right. We're celebrating from 1915. We're celebrating a birthday. It's Frankie Yankovic, who is an American polka musician.
Yes, birthed Weird Al.
Which made me think that he's got to be related to Weird Al. He's not related to Weird Al.
This is disturbing.
They're both American polka music is not
both
related
American
to Weird
polka
Al.
musicians, and they actually worked together at some point, playing
Yankovic and Yankovic.
Playing accordions, some kind. I have a story about Weird Al too. So the friend I went to the Olympics with, I was going to go on vacation with him and another friend to Toronto, and I got sick and I couldn't go, and I was in the hospital. Things were pretty bad, but they went on the vacation. They came back and they wanted to show me video of their vacation so I could kind of be part of it. So we're sitting there watching the video, and they're just a random shot of a hotel lobby and like a big fern plant. And I'm like, why are you guys showing me this? The fern plant separates, and there's Weird Al. And he goes, hey, Carl, sorry you're sick. I hope you feel better. The plant went back together, and he disappeared. And I'm looking at these guys. How did you do that? They're like, we met Weird Al in the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah, why not?
So, my own personal get well greeting from Weird Al.
Perfect.
Not related to Frankie Yankovic.
Right.
If you were wondering.
Mike, watch this one. Here's some random sports knowledge that Jeremy possesses that people are going to be shocked at.
Oh boy.
Jeremy, on this date in 1977, a basketball player was born. He played in the NBA. He's from Argentina. His name is
Ginobili.
That is correct. Manu Ginobili from the San Antonio Spurs. How do you know that one again? Is it
Unagi? That I know that one because he played for the
Argentinian
Spurs.
team.
Yeah, and he's Argentine. And yeah, Brazilians are not a big fan of
so good.
Argentine people.
Jeremy's sports knowledge is very limited, and when you do find a little nugget like that, then you're just like, how do you possess? The other one that I love, I tell it all the time, but one time Jeremy mentioned the name Muggsy Bogues, a really short guy that played in the NBA a long time ago, and you said his name, and I just looked at you, I was stunned. Like, how do you even know who Muggsy Bogues is?
NBA Jam.
Random NBA Jam. That's usually the answer.
On the Sega Genesis.
Argentine, not sure about that one, but I did notice another one in here. So you've got, the Argentinian people. You got people from Poland or Polish, people from Peru or Peruvian. There was a good one. People from Barbados. Do you know what they are?
Barbicides.
Barbasol, that's shaving gel.
Oh.
Barbadian.
Sounds made up.
And then who are the Katidians?
They're from Turkey.
That would be random.
It is. It's a random place.
There's a country in the Caribbean called St. Kitts.
Oh, I was going to say it was from a manners class that I took. But maybe that was cotillion.
Oh, there you go. That's closer. Yeah, the people in St. Kitts are Katidian. I saw that one, and it said, I had to look it up. I'm like, it said he was a Katidian athlete of some kind, and I was like, I don't know what that means. All right, I like this game. It's a little quiz for you guys. You get to make up a story about this so-called famous person. There's a list on Wikipedia of people that have a birthday today, and you have to be some level of famous to make the list because it's not a long list.
Yeah.
Wow.
So on this date in 1930, Feroza Begum, Begum, Feroza Begum was born. Can you tell me where Feroza Begum is from and why Feroza Begum is famous enough to be on the list? So let's hear your stories and your descriptions.
They co-named a thing that they thought people used to think were nuts, but they weren't. And his partner was Jonathan Legg, and so they named him Legumes, and they classified that as a new kind of. It wasn't quite a nut; it was a legume.
They combined their two names. The one guy was Legg, one was Begum, so they combined them and called them Legumes. Yeah. Nice. I like it. Mike?
First national shuffleboard champion.
Of America?
Of St. Kitts, specifically.
First national shuffleboard champion of St. Kitts.
Yeah.
Or Feroza Begum is a Bangladeshi singer.
Right.
Now we're going to need to go check that out.
They share the name.
There's a lot of people named that.
Yeah, going to need to go check that one out and listen to some music by Feroza Begum. See, it doesn't say, I don't know what kind of style. I'm sure there's many different genres in Bangladeshi music. Yeah. All right, a couple of quarantine questions for you as we continue to practice our social distancing and not travel and not go anywhere. This one seemed like this one's too easy. What's the weirdest food you've ever eaten? I assume we all have the same answer.
Is it lutefisk?
Right. Have we ever eaten anything weird? We talk about lutefisk. Some weird Norwegian thing up in North Dakota that we ate against our better judgment, but it wasn't as bad. We always say that it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, but it smells pretty nasty.
I think next time we're going to get a much more rotten batch.
They're going to test us next time. Do you have any good scar stories?
Scarf?
Scar?
Scar, like a scar.
Yeah, I had a brain surgery. I got that scar. It's right here next to my belly button. I don't know. I mean, you can't dress like you're going to church if you want to sell the merch.
That is a good one. I have a scar from brain surgery, and it's on my abdomen.
It's right here. Yep.
My brain. Let's see. Mine is here. My brain surgery scar.
Where you would expect it to be.
Where you would expect it to be. Jeremy, you got a brain surgery scar story there to share with the group?
No.
Oh.
He's so sad about that.
He's left out.
Jeremy's going to be so excited.
Okay. When it's okay, little buddy. One day
I'll have brain surgery.
You have any scar stories, Jeremy?
No.
Do you have any scars?
No.
just avoid them. I mean, that's a good way to go if you can do it.
Still in mint condition.
Mint condition.
Are you guys car naming people? Do you name your cars, or have you ever named your cars?
Yes.
Does your current car have a name?
It doesn't, because it's relatively new.
What names have you had for your cars in the past?
I had a silver Pontiac Vibe, and I named it Magnum after the look from Zoolander.
Nice. I remember the Vibe.
And my sister had a blue one, and she named it Blue Steel. So we had Zoolander names.
Nice. Mike, are you a car namer?
Not really. I had a blue Dodge Caravan through high school and college, and in college it got called the Nav, which is just van backwards. So not super creative. I didn't pick the name; it was picked for it. But it did develop quite a reputation of going around campus with doing weird stuff.
I don't think I've ever named my cars. Some people are into it. Like, they got to make sure they get it named quickly once they get it.
My cars aren't nice enough to warrant a name, I think. Like, if it had a name, it would be like Richard, Steve. I don't know, like
Richard.
Something bland.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, cool. Nice to meet you, I guess.
All right.
Thanks for dropping by and saying what's up.
Good try. I hope DJ Promote is watching. All right, you have just found out that we are now a team of treasure hunters. What job do you assign to each of us?
Jeremy's the navigator.
Okay.
He's good with the maps and finding out where to go.
Just like, there it is.
I would say, and Mike definitely would do the research.
Yes.
He'd be the guy in the library looking up the old scroll,
digging through the archives, and we would be having a conversation about, what's our next attempt to find the treasure, and you would just hear Mike from the backseat of the rental car, and he would say, "I'm on it."
Yep. I wouldn't be navigating, because I forget if I need to turn right out of the hotel room door or left to get to the lobby. So Jeremy usually keeps me straight there.
Well, that's happened for all three. Sometimes we walk out of the hotel and all three of us freeze because we don't remember what car we have.
That's true. Yeah, I can never remember that.
Do we have is it silver? No, that was yesterday in a different city. Oh, right.
Just press the button.
Yeah. Make it beep.
And Carl, on our treasure hunter team, I would assign you as the one who like communicates with the locals to get information. And so you'd come back and we'd be like, "Hey, Carl, so where's the treasure?" And he's like, "I don't know, but I got a great barbecue place they recommended just up the road."
And then Jeremy's the navigator, so he would hear my story and he would go, "Oh no, there's code in there. They're trying to tell you we need to go south."
Hunga hunga splishy splishy means it's off the island.
I like how Mike's sending me in to get information from the locals, and all I come back with is a good barbecue place.
That's right. Hey, there's this place called 12 Bones. I'm not sure if it's a restaurant or if it's actually 12 Bones.
And you guys are just looking at me like, Carl, you were supposed to do research. I know, but they told me about this barbecue place.
That's how we would function.
Good times. I think there was a couple of people I saw down here. Oh, Jennifer is here with us from the Love Like You Mean It cruise.
Yeah. Excellent.
Back in what was that, February? We were on the Love Like You Mean It cruise. It's amazing
that we were on a cruise in February
with 5,000 people. We don't know
that she's talking about the most recent one.
That's true.
Maybe she's talking about another one. Yeah,
it's true.
But yeah, think about that. We were on a giant ship with 5,000 people.
It's amazing we're alive.
We made it.
How did we make it this far?
Like, who knows? When's the next time we're going to be on a cruise? Who knows?
They were starting. I remember when we were going, we were still possibly worried that they were going to cancel it because they were people were putting regulations in place. Like if you've been overseas, you can't come. You can't.
There's
like
definitely awareness of what was going on. Hand sanitizer.
We're scheduled to be on the K-Love Friends and Family cruise in January.
Still on? All right.
Yeah. What happens there?
That one's still scheduled. We'll see.
There we go.
I don't know how that works, but we'll find out. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. It's always good to hear from everybody and to chat through some of the fun times that we're having or that we have had in the past. And we look forward to having again in the future. Hopefully, we'll be able to get out and laugh with everybody. We mentioned the tour is back on up in upstate New York in March. And hopefully we can do that K-Love cruise in January. And, we've got lots of other things on the schedule. So we'll see. We'll see how this all works out. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching and joining us. We will be back here same time again next week. We're always live on Facebook and YouTube at noon Eastern time on Tuesday. So thank you for joining us. We are 321 Improv, three Christian guys combined into one ministry, all to bring glory to the one who makes it all possible. We appreciate you being here with us. We will talk to you again next week. This podcast ends in 3, 2, 1.
Righto.
Oh, Kay thinks maybe after going on that cruise, maybe now you'll get your brain surgery.
Maybe.
There's an encouraging thought. Oh, good times. Somebody was in here from. I thought I saw somebody else from Fuego in here.
It was me.
And we gotta go see Matt. Next time we get to Colorado, we gotta find Matt, and then we need to reconnect with my spontaneous friend.
That's right, your spontaneous Denver friend.
He doesn't want any warning ahead of time. He just wants us to call him from the airport. In fact, the last time we were there, I think we were in a hurry or something. We didn't call him, and then we posted a picture of ourselves in the Denver airport, and he responded with, "Oh, I must have missed your call."
Very passive aggressive.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Good times. Jeremy, great. I will send you an email with the details.
All right. Did you see Micah Tyler had surgery?
I did. I was talking to him because I had that gallbladder surgery before.
Oh.
So yeah, not with the infection part that he had added on there, but yeah. Good time. You get a scar in your abdomen from that one too.
Oh man, I could make a collection.
They apparently pulled my entire gallbladder out of my belly button.
Oh.
Yeah, weird.
What?
Weird.
That's how they do it. There's a little scar on the side where the gallstone came out because that didn't fit through the belly button, and then they pull the gallbladder out through the belly button.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Very strange. Yeah.
Wow.
Good times.
Bonus content.
Did you go to a doctor?
Yeah, who's they? Is this like Greg?
Yeah, this was not not Greg at the campsite.
Oh, okay.
Hey, should we go into town to the doctor? Nah, let's just take care of it here at the campsite.
Huh.
Nice. All right. Well, you guys have a good week.
All right. We'll see ya.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. Hi, Alana.
Thanks for dropping by and saying what's up.